Namaste everyone. In today's video, we're going to focus on Muni Patanjali's Yoga Sutra 3.11. Now in this particular Yoga Sutra, he's providing yet another transformation or an impact that is created through the Samadhi. And he's helping us to understand what happens to the mind as a result of it. So let's take a good look at the Sutra, start breaking it up word by word and understanding it a little bit better. So the sutra itself goes Sarvarthataikagratayoho kshayodayau chittasya samadhi parinamaha. Alright, so this is the sutra itself. Now let's start understanding each of the words and breaking it up even further. The first word over here is sarva, and sarva refers to all, everything, all of it. Then comes the next word, which is Arthata, and here it's talking about the subjectedness or the purposefulness of a particular object that we're focusing on. So the Arthata of that thing. And then comes a very common word which we have heard many times through the sutra study, which is Ekagrata. And Ekagrata means the one-pointed focus or concentration or one-pointedness of a particular thing. Then comes the next word, which is Kshaya. Kshaya as well has appeared many times in the sutra study, and it refers to the dwindling, the diminishing, or the doing away with something. So that is Kshaya. Then we come to Udaya over here, which is basically referring to something that's rising, that's coming up to the surface, and that's Udaya. And then we go to the next word, which is Chittasya. So Chittasya, compound word, it has Chitta in it, which means consciousness, and Chittasya means consciousness of. So Chitta of. And then the final word over here is Samadhi Parinama. Now that of course means the result or the transformation that happens because of the Samadhi. Now that we've understood each of the words and their meanings, let's see what this sutra means as a whole. So on the whole, the sutra is telling us that basically the transformation of the chitta, what it ensures is that there's a certain ekagrata that is created. So earlier we had all the chitta going in sarva, all the directions, multi-subjectedness, it was in multiple different places. And then eventually it starts to kind of focus, develop a sense of ekagrata, and that is one of the biggest results or parinams or transformative processes of the Samadhi practice, this development of one-pointedness. So now that we know the meaning of the sutra, let's get deeper into it and start understanding what it's trying to tell us. So this sutra is helping us to understand some of the prerequisites and what really happens when the Samadhi process is taking place. Now, one of the things that the commentators have mentioned is that actually maybe the sutra should have come a bit more in the beginning, because we went through the understanding of Samadhi, we went through what happens, but we didn't really get to see the role that Ekagrata plays in the process. But also the commentators have explained that in the ancient Indian form of writing, what was usually done as a process is that the more complex or the best or the highest idea is explained first, and then sort of it breaks it down further and tells you some of the common like FAQs that you might have or certain questions that might come up for you. So it's basically really incredible because it does that over a period of time. It starts with boom, like the main thing of the entire concept, and then it breaks it down further. So that's kind of what's happening in the sutra as well, where ekagrata and its correlation with samadhi is being explained in this particular sutra, although it could have, according to our modern form of writing, been explained earlier. In our modern style of writing, we use building blocks. We go from A to B to C, and then we build it up to a big conclusion. But here it's like the opposite, conclusion first and then breaking down the elements or building blocks of it. So anyway, keeping that in mind, what's really important is to understand how the natural nature of the mind is to be very fickle, is to shift from object to object, and that's why we often in Sanskrit and Hindi call the mind chanchala, which means that it's so bubbly, it's like it's not able to concentrate and stay focused on one thing. It constantly jumps from place to place, and because of that it's difficult to control the mind, which is often compared to a monkey and many other such elements. But the important thing to remember here is that through the development of ekagrata and this one-pointedness, we are conditioning the chitta and the mind, and that is helping us to transform and move into a samadhi-like state. So it's kind of codependent. The samadhi, we enter into the samadhi because of our ability to concentrate and enter into ekagrata, and at the same time we are able to sort of go there because of it, and at the same time without it would be very difficult to enter into states of samadhi. So it takes a little bit of time to understand the role that ekagrata plays, but because of that one-pointedness of the mind, even after the experience of samadhi, if a person continues to exist in the worldly life, they do kind of experience one-pointedness, tend to be more focused, more concentrated, because of the impact that samadhi has had on them. So ekagrata is like an overall development that happens in the process of samadhi, and then also as an impact or a transformation because of samadhi. So this is the main point the sutra is trying to make, and trying to highlight the word ekagrata in this case. So I hope you've been able to understand the meaning of the sutra and how the mind goes from multiple objects to one-pointed focus because of meditation and samadhi. So this is overall what Sutra 3.11 is trying to tell us. I hope you found this video to be useful and helpful. And if you have, please leave your thoughts, comments and suggestions in the comments box below. We really look forward to hearing from you. And also, please don't forget to like this video, give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and also share it with your friends and family so that they too can learn about yoga philosophy and the Yoga Sutras. Apart from that, we look forward to seeing you in our future class, video, course or workshop. And until then, take care, and we look forward to seeing you very soon. Namaste.